During Orion's flight test, the spacecraft will travel 3,600 miles into space, return to Earth at speeds of up to 20,000 miles per hour, and endure temperatures near 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean. For the team tasked with recovering Orion after splashdown, this is when the work will begin. NASA's Ground Systems Development and Operations Program, Orion prime contractor Lockheed Martin, and the U.S. Navy have worked hard to prepare, practicing recovery operations during the past year to establish techniques they will use to recover Orion, the parachutes, and the forward bay cover from the water.
We're working with the Navy to figure out a way to use these well deck ships that they have to get the capsule back in the well deck and allow the crew to get out basically on dry land in a sense. And so all this testing is about how to make that work.
Before Orion launches on its flight test from the East Coast, the recovery team on the West Coast will embark aboard the U.S. Navy's amphibious ship, the USS Anchorage, and head out to sea. All of the necessary hardware and equipment will be carried below in the ship's well deck. It also is where Orion will be secured after the team recovers it. While the team waits for Orion to take flight, they will launch weather balloons from the deck of the ship and monitor sea conditions. Meanwhile, about an hour before splashdown, the helicopters will take off from the ship's deck and fly out to help locate Orion as it makes its descent toward the ocean. The helicopters also will help the team track Orion's protective forward bay cover and parachutes for the recovery. Teams in rigid hull inflatable boats will find and secure the hardware with floats until they're able to safely recover it. Minutes after Orion splashes down, the crew module uprighting system will inflate to help stabilize the spacecraft in case it doesn't land heat shield first into the water. U.S. Navy divers in Zodiac boats will check for any hazards around Orion. Then they'll attach a sea anchor, load distributing horse collar, and tether lines to the crew module, and work to guide it to the ship's well deck.
So it's our way of recovering the Orion crew module, and we do it in a way that we protect the heat shield so that we can get as much good information as we can for the engineering analysis that we'll do moving forward.
The spacecraft will be set down on rubber shock absorbers secured to the deck, and the ship will head toward calm waters. The crew module will then be put into its recovery cradle and readied for offloading. The ship will then begin the journey back to Naval Base San Diego. The team also is prepared to use an alternative method of recovery in case Orion can't be recovered using the ship's well deck. At sea, a sling will be placed around Orion, and the stationary crane on the USNS Salvor, a salvage ship, will be used to lift the crew module up and onto the deck where it will be secured. It will remain there for its trip back to port. In case of very turbulent sea conditions, the USNS Salvor could tow Orion along until calmer seas are reached and it can be recovered. When Orion splashes down in the Pacific Ocean, the U.S. Navy ship and recovery team will be ready to recover the spacecraft and safely bring it home.